Grow tons of bell peppers, not just leaves. Proven secrets for giant harvests. Hey, Golden Garden friends, if you've ever stared at a tall, glossy pepper plant bursting with leaves, but giving you only two sad little bells, you're in the right place. I'm talking to you. The balcony grower squeezing pots between a chair and a railing, the backyard dreamer juggling kids, work, and watering, the beginner who just wants simple, repeatable steps, the houseplant lover turning a sunny window into a mini farm, the raised bed tinkerer fighting heat waves by day and cool nights by, well, every night. Today we're flipping peppers from leaf factory to fruit machine. I'll show you the exact rhythm, light temperature, consistent watering, smart feeding, spacing, and easy pollination habits, so your plants stop posing and start producing giant, crunchy bells. Think practical tweaks, not pricey gear, and results you can see in a week. Ready to grow tons of peppers, not leaves? Hit play, lean in, and if you're new here, tap subscribe to join the Golden Garden family. 1. The Fruit First Game Plan. Let's start with the big picture. What truly makes your bell peppers shift from green leaves to giant fruits? Imagine your pepper plant as a small orchestra. Sunlight plays the melody, water keeps the rhythm, nutrients strike the harmony, and spacing lets every note breathe. When one instrument gets too loud, like nitrogen or shade, the music turns messy and all you get are leaves. But when the balance is right, that same plant transforms into a masterpiece, covered in blossoms and thick, shiny peppers that weigh the stems down. In this journey, I'll guide you through the rhythm of care, how light hours shape energy, how steady watering unlocks calcium, and why timing fertilizer feels almost like timing a heartbeat. Even if you've failed before, this plan will show you that the difference between disappointment and abundance isn't luck, it's sequence. So breathe, grab your garden gloves, and let's tune your peppers for their best performance yet. 2. Start right. Choosing and timing. Your pepper transplants. Now, before we even talk fertilizers or watering, let's rewind to the very beginning, the moment you choose and plant your peppers. The truth is, success starts long before the first flower blooms. You want seedlings that look strong, not tall and flimsy. Look for sturdy stems, rich green leaves, and small developing buds, not full blossoms yet. Those are signs of energy waiting to burst once they meet real soil. And timing? That's everything. Bell peppers hate the cold. Wait until nighttime temperatures stay comfortably between 60 and 70 degrees before moving them outdoors. If you're an apartment grower, think of this as your plant's moving day. Let them adjust slowly to real sunlight for a few hours each day, then bring them back in at night. This hardening off routine builds their strength like training before a marathon. Because when your peppers start strong, they don't just survive, they thrive, right from the very first week. 3. Build the perfect home, soil and space for giant peppers. Once your young plants are ready to move out, it's time to build them a home where they can truly grow big and strong. Think of your soil as the foundation of a house. If it's weak or compacted, everything above it struggles. Bell peppers love loose, airy soil that drains well but never dries out completely. Mix compost for nutrients, a bit of perlite or coarse sand for airflow, and aim for that magic pH zone between 6 and 6.8. Too acidic or too alkaline, and your peppers can't absorb what they need, no matter how much you feed them. And space, give them room to breathe. 18 to 24 inches apart may look excessive now, but once those leaves spread, you'll thank yourself. Crowded roots compete, tangled leaves block sunlight, and suddenly you're back to leafy greens with no fruit. Treat each plant like it deserves its own spotlight, because it does. 4. Feed for growth early, then switch to fruit mode. Here's where many gardeners go wrong. They feed their peppers like leafy greens all season long. In the beginning, yes, a gentle boost of nitrogen helps young plants build strong stems and vibrant leaves. But once those first buds appear, it's time to change the menu. Keep piling on nitrogen and you're basically telling your plant, grow more leaves. And it will, at the cost of fruit. What peppers really crave at this stage is balance. More phosphorus and potassium to fuel blossoms and fruit set. So switch to a fertilizer that's lower in nitrogen, something like a 5-10-10 blend, and use it at half strength every couple of weeks. Think of it as teaching your plant to shift gears, from building to producing. And remember, fresh manure or strong fertilizers can overwhelm them. Gentle, steady feeding is the secret. When you get that timing right, your plant finally understands what you want. Not leaves, but beautiful giant peppers. 5. Let there be light, giving your peppers the sunshine. They crave light is the true currency of your pepper's growth. Without enough of it, the plant stretches tall and thin, chasing every ray, yet never finding the strength to bloom. Bell peppers are sun lovers through and through. They need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight, not just brightness filtered through trees or walls. If you're gardening on a balcony or near fences, notice how shadows shift during the day. Even a few hours of blocked light can mean the difference between a handful of peppers and a basketful. If sunlight is scarce, use a trick from experienced gardeners, reflective surfaces like aluminum foil or white tiles to bounce light back onto the plant. Indoor growers can use full-spectrum grow lights hung about a foot above the leaves. It's not about fancy setups, it's about giving your plants what they naturally crave. With consistent light, those timid buds suddenly wake up, and your pepper plant begins to show its true power. 6. Handle the heat, protecting your peppers from sun stress. Now, even though peppers love warmth, there's a point when too much sun turns from friend to foe. When the thermometer climbs above 85 degrees, your plants start to struggle. You might notice flowers dropping, leaves curling, or the plant just pausing. It's not laziness, it's survival. At high heat, pepper pollen becomes weak or sterile, and without healthy pollen, no fruit can form. So what can you do? Think of shade cloth as your plant's sun hat. A light 30 to 50% shade cover during the hottest midday hours keeps your peppers cool enough to keep flowering. Add a soft layer of mulch around the base to lock in moisture and steady soil temperature, and always water early in the morning before the sun turns fierce. This small routine, morning water, midday shade, evening breath, helps your peppers thrive through even the hottest summers. When you protect them from heat stress, they'll repay you with a steady rhythm of flowers turning into giant glossy bells. 7. Cool nights, happy fruits, the secret to steady growth. While the sun powers your peppers by day, the night is when they recover, rebuild, and quietly set fruit. But if the nights swing too far, too cold, or too warm, your plants get confused. When temperatures dip below 55 degrees, they pause completely, holding energy instead of using it. And when nights stay above 75, they can't cool off, leaving pollen weak and flowers unproductive. You'll see buds that look perfect one evening and gone the next. The fix? Give them comfort. If cool nights are your challenge, drape a light row cover or even an old bedsheet over the plants before sunset to trap a little warmth from the soil. Remove it in the morning so they can breathe again. For those in warmer zones, focus on airflow. Space plants apart and use a small fan in a greenhouse or a gentle evening breeze outdoors. When nights find that sweet middle ground, your peppers finally relax, set fruit easily, and keep the rhythm of growth flowing all season long. 8. Water with rhythm, finding the perfect balance. If there's one thing that separates struggling plants from thriving ones, it's not how much you water, but how consistently you do it. Peppers love balance. They don't want to swim, but they don't want to thirst either. When the soil swings from dry and cracked to soggy and heavy, the roots get stressed. And a stressed plant forgets about fruiting, it just tries to survive. That's when blossoms drop, small fruits shrivel, and leaves start to curl. The secret is deep, steady watering, enough to soak the soil 6 inches down, then letting the top inch dry before watering again. Early mornings are your best ally. It gives roots time to drink before the heat sets in. Add a soft blanket of mulch to lock in moisture and keep the temperature steady. Think of it as a rhythm. Water, rest, breathe, repeat. Once your peppers feel that predictable pattern, they'll reward you with firm, juicy fruits instead of endless leaves. Consistency is your quiet superpower in the garden. 9. Strong walls, strong peppers, the power of calcium and magnesium. Here's something most gardeners overlook. Your peppers need strong walls to hold up those giant, juicy fruits, and those walls are built with calcium. Without it, you'll start seeing soft spots or that heartbreaking dark patch at the bottom of a fruit, blossom end rot. But here's the twist. Most soils already have calcium. The problem isn't shortage, it's access. When watering is irregular, calcium can't travel up the plant to where it's needed. So once again, consistency saves the day. Keep the soil evenly moist, not drenched, and your peppers will drink just fine. To boost strength naturally, mix in a handful of gypsum before planting or sprinkle crushed eggshells around the base. It's slow, steady nourishment. If your leaves start yellowing between veins, a pinch of Epsom salt adds a little magnesium balance. These tiny tweaks don't just prevent problems, they build resilience. When calcium flows smoothly, your peppers grow firm, glossy, and picture perfect, ready to shine on the vine. 10. Give them room to breathe, the magic of spacing and gentle pruning. Imagine trying to grow in a crowded room where there's no sunlight, no fresh air, and everyone's fighting for the same drink of water. That's what overcrowded peppers experience. When planted too close, they compete underground for nutrients and above ground for light. The result? Tall, leafy plants that look impressive but rarely bear fruit. Peppers need personal space, about 18 to 24 inches apart, so each one can stretch out its roots and soak in the sun from all sides. If you've already planted them close, don't panic. You can gently thin or prune a few lower leaves to let in air and light. Think of it like opening a window. Better airflow means healthier plants and fewer diseases. Add a small stake or cage early on so heavy fruit doesn't bend the stems later. When each plant breathes freely, it shifts focus from fighting for space to what it's meant to do, producing big, colorful peppers that fill your garden with life and abundance. 11. Pick the right variety, matching peppers to your climate. Not all bell peppers are created equal. Some thrive in heat, some prefer milder air, and others are built for small spaces or quick harvests. Choosing the right variety for your climate can mean the difference between frustration and success. If you live in a cooler region, look for short season types like King of the North or Early Sensation, which ripen fast before the chill returns. In warmer zones, go for heat-tolerant giants like Big Bertha or California Wonder, peppers that can take the sun and still produce heavy fruit. You can even mix varieties, early, mid, and late season, to keep the harvest going for months. And don't forget the color factor. Red, yellow, orange, even chocolate hues add beauty and flavor while signaling different ripening stages. Harvest some early for crisp green peppers and leave a few to mature into rich, sweet colors. It's like nature's way of rewarding patience, each shade a new chapter in your garden story. 12. Invite the helpers, boosting pollination. Naturally. Here's a secret that often gets overlooked. Even though bell peppers can pollinate themselves, they still need a little help. Without movement, from wind, insects, or even your gentle touch, many flowers simply fall away, leaving you wondering what went wrong. So think of pollination as teamwork between you and nature. If you're growing outdoors, invite pollinators in by planting flowers like marigolds, basil, or zinnias nearby. Their bright blooms attract bees and butterflies who will happily visit your peppers along the way. Indoors or in a greenhouse, you can play the role of the bee yourself. A gentle tap on each stem or a light brush inside the flowers in the morning is often all it takes to spread pollen. Some gardeners even use a small electric toothbrush to mimic that buzzing vibration. Keep pesticides away during bloom time. Protect your helpers. When your garden hums with life, your peppers will thank you, responding with blossoms that turn into plump, shiny fruits bursting with color. 13. Read the signs, solving the all leaves, no fruit mystery. Sometimes you do everything right, watering, feeding, pruning, and still your pepper plant seems to mock you with lush green leaves but no fruit. Don't worry, it's not defiance, it's a signal. When your plant is all foliage, it's usually saying one thing: something's out of balance. Maybe there's too much nitrogen, too little sun, or the heat is making pollen weak. The trick is to read those signs like a conversation. If the leaves look glossy and rich but buds keep dropping, check for heat stress or crowded spacing. If flowers appear but never set fruit, try gentle pollination or adjust your watering rhythm. And if your soil feels heavy or packed, loosen it up. Roots need to breathe to deliver nutrients properly. Gardening isn't guesswork, it's learning your plant's language. Once you listen closely, every leaf tells you what it needs. Bring things back into balance, and suddenly those stubborn green towers will start rewarding you with clusters of thick, shiny peppers ready for the basket. 14. Keep trouble away. Spotting pests and diseases. Early, every gardener knows that moment. You walk out to admire your peppers and something looks off. A few curled leaves, maybe a patch of spots, or flowers dropping faster than usual. It's easy to panic, but most problems whisper before they shout. Aphids hiding under leaves, tiny thrips nibbling buds, or a light powdery coating signaling mildew. They all start small. The key is early attention, not drastic action. Take a moment each week to gently check your plants. Brush your fingers across the leaves, look under them, and notice changes in color or texture. Good airflow is your best defense. Spacing and pruning keep humidity low and disease away. And when you do spot trouble, choose the gentle path first. A spray of insecticidal soap, a rinse of water, or a visit from nature's helpers like ladybugs. The goal isn't perfection, it's harmony. Healthy, balanced plants have their own quiet resilience. With your steady care, your peppers will stay strong, green, and full of life until harvest time. 15. The grand finale, harvesting for size and flavor. After all your patience, watering, and quiet morning check-ins, here comes the reward, harvest time. But timing is everything. Pick too soon and the peppers stay small and bitter. Wait too long and the plant slows its production. The trick is balance. When your peppers reach their full, firm shape and deep green color, that's your first harvest window. Snip them cleanly with scissors or pruning shears instead of pulling. It keeps the branches healthy and ready to bloom again. Leave a few fruits to mature fully into red, yellow, or orange, and you'll notice the flavor deepen, becoming sweeter and richer. As you pick, support the stems. Heavy fruits can bend or snap them. After harvest, store peppers unwashed in a cool, dry spot. They'll last longer that way. Each fruit is a story of your care, of sunlight managed, water balanced, and patience rewarded. And remember, the more you harvest, the more the plant gives. Nature always returns what we tend with consistency and love, from leaves to abundance. So now you know the secret. Growing giant, juicy bell peppers isn't about luck, it's about rhythm. The right light, steady watering, balanced feeding, and a little observation can turn a leafy plant into a powerhouse of fruit. Whether you're tending a balcony pot or a backyard bed, remember this: your garden reflects your patience. Every leaf, every blossom, every pepper tells the story of your quiet care. Don't rush it. Gardening is a conversation, not a command. When you learn to listen, the plants will always answer with abundance. And here's something to carry with you. Those moments when you doubt your green thumb, they're just part of the process. Keep showing up, keep experimenting, and your peppers will reward you in ways that go far beyond the harvest. If you found value in today's journey, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your experiences in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our growing community here at Golden Garden, where every seed becomes a story worth telling.